Okay, welcome to this presentation on magnetic investment and seasonal strategies. Firstly, a massive apologies for the delay. We had some tech issues which have kept us back a little bit, but we'll press on. Thanks for bearing with us with that issue. So we've got a few people just still coming in to the webinar. I want to start off very quickly just with a poll, really to identify who we're talking to today. So I'm going to launch the poll. It really is: have you been on a magnetic presentation before with Mark and myself? And what is it that you currently do? Do you short-term trade? Do you short-term trade and invest? Do you just invest, or do you do none of the above? And it's going to really help me understand who we're talking to today. And certainly, if you've all been on magnetic presentations before, then we can skip a little bit. So for those of you that are coming in a little bit later, again, apologies for the late start of today. We're just doing a quick poll just to gauge how we can really help you, really, on this presentation. We generally do a little bit of live trading on these presentations as well. Today, we're not going to be live trading, but I do have Mark with me here as well. He's going to be looking at the FTSE market to see if there's going to be an opportunity. So he may interject if something is setting up. So don't worry that we haven't got the screens up today with the markets. We are watching them, and if something should set up, then we will alert you to that. Okay, well, thank you, everyone. There's 70% of you filled in the questions, and that really gives me a really good idea. So 91% of you have been on a presentation before, so you certainly know who I am and who Mark is, so we can skip a little bit of that. And interestingly, about 50-50 are interested in short-term trading and in investments. So today, let's end this poll, and maybe even share the results if you're interested. So today we're going to be looking at seasonality in the market, something that we've been using for a very, very long time, and how we can take advantage of seasonal changes and how they affect the market. And also we're going to give you the opportunity to sort of trade alongside us as well. So you certainly know who we are. This is a really great example here of global stock markets. These are some of the most popular markets in the world: the American markets, the DAX, the Euro, the FTSE, and the Japanese market, and how they perform on average over the last 50 years. And what we can see is that there's definitely patterns of or periods when the market is positive. So there has certainly been the old adage of sell in May and go away. That's proven not to be a profitable strategy, but from here we can start to see that there are periods of the market where there's more buying going on. There's periods where the market's pretty flat, and there's one certain period where the market is negative. So we thought this presentation was pretty appropriate for the time of the year. If you trade with us, you'll have known that we've been talking about that the summer months are not as great. Personally, I pull back a little bit from some of the trades, but it's interesting what's going to be happening around this period. What we can see in the 8th month here, which is August, very, very little returns, if any, are happening in August long term. And September, across all global markets, we're seeing that they are negative. So I just added some comments here on the side that we can see pretty much from October to July, October to July, October to June, October to July, October to April, October to May, the market is generally positive, and certainly we can take advantage of that. So let's roll through the year. We're going to start with October because that is generally when most of the buying opportunities come in. Sometimes in September, we can see quite clearly there can be sell-offs, which we'll come to, and we'll look to buy the market in October to hold it into the summer. And you can see there's a little bit of a variant between different markets. And doing this approach of buying on a seasonal basis and selling in the summer can almost double your returns, particularly in markets like the Dow Jones and the NASDAQ. We roll through to December, where we'll probably be familiar, because a lot of you know us, of the Christmas rally, which is the last 5 trading days of the year and the first 2 trading days in January. Over the long term, it's been positive 1.3%, but we can take advantage of that. And we've got the additional factor that the first of the month, the 1st of January, ties into that Christmas rally period, where we have, if you're part of Blueprint or you've heard about our Blueprint trades, that we've got the DAX first of the month trade. Moving into January, it can be very much an indicator of how the year is going to perform. If we have a negative January, like we did, I think, last year in 2022, we can see it's one indicator, but we've certainly seen a positive January this year and the markets have rallied. You can note down also that in July, the beginning of the summer months, we can see a little bit of a rally from the beginning of July to mid-July. But after mid-July to September time, it's normally when we see some selling pressure come in the markets. We may see a pullback. We'll certainly be looking for pullbacks from now till September of 5 to potentially 10% in the market. So we're in August now, and the first 9 days of August can see some weakness in the market, can see some selling pressure come in, which we'll have a look at. We've certainly seen that. And the second half of August can see some strength. September, which will be rolling around next month, certainly, as we can see from the previous slide here, is definitely the worst trading month, or investing month, should we say, of the year. And we generally see selling. And we'll be looking for that market to potentially bottom into some key levels and then look for some buying. So what I thought I'd do is I just pulled up a chart of the DAX because that's my market. And I thought we'd just look at a daily chart. This is a cash market daily chart of how what I've just gone over played out last year in the market. So let's just start over in summer, in August last year. What we see, the mid of August, we see the market decline 15% all the way down to the end of September. So the end of September was the lows, 28th of September. That was the lows in the market. And what generally happens in October, we see buying come into the market. Market has rallied, that's 16% there, up until the end of the year. What happens at the end of the year? We get the Santa rally. So we got a very moderate rally into the end of December, and then it started to push up. Certainly those first week, first few days, we got a big push. That big push, when we look at it now, was a positive January, meaning that we could see the market rise into the summer. And we've had from January to July period, we've had, or sorry, August highs, we've had an 18% increase. So some big increases there. You may remember I've said at the beginning of July, you can see a small rally come into the market. Didn't actually come in on the first week, but did come in on the second week. Moves up into August, where we potentially are going to have weakness in the market. So the market got all the way up to 16,400. I think it got a little bit higher than that. 16,400 area, 16,500, I think. And what we've seen now, we're on the 8th of August, we've seen a 3.6% decrease in the market. So exactly as to what we are potentially expecting with seasonality. Again, we're going to use that as one indicator. We can't use it as everything, but we know that these rough seasonal effects are going to happen in the market, and we can look to take advantage of it. That last one in August, we pretty much closed out 75 to about 60 to 70% of all of our investment holdings in the DAX, in the NASDAQ, were all closed out at the beginning of August, in the anticipation that we were going to see some weakness. And look, we were seeing all-time highs as well in the market. So with that, seeing those highs come in, seeing the time of the year, we expected some selling to come in. So some examples of this, you're probably familiar with the Santa rally, but we do help our clients get into these trades. Here's some examples really of the alerts that are sent out to highlight these seasonal opportunities. Here's the first of the month that ties in with the Santa rally and how we can get into that. Very, very nice trade that year. Yeah, so I mean, yeah, it was a 3R return on that. So if you risk 1%, it would have been 3%. If you risk 2%, it would have been about 7% return on that trade. That's why we like these so much, because they are very much investment style trades. And of course, our guys doing really, really well off the back of these. I won't read all of these out, but just proof that not only do we educate, we trade and we invest, and our clients are doing the same. So much so that on that trade back in 2022, those 7 days of the Santa rally, I made 40, this is US dollars, 42,000 US dollars on the back of that move. And again, this year, not quite as great. I think you saw on the chart there that there wasn't as big a move, and generally in a sort of a bearish environment, the buying is limited. So there was 11,000, but over the period between October, when we expect the buying to come into the market, to the beginning of July, I closed out 170,000 US dollars just using these simple strategies in the market. So I don't show you this to impress you, but I just want to show you what is potentially possible. And I didn't make $1 million between that period. We do have our separate investments in a different account. But this account, a lot of people will look at this and say, oh, you're trading very, very large size. This is, it's a 6-figure account. So it's not $1 million account. It's a relatively small account. It just shows you how much returns can be made. And I think for most people, making that size of money could be potentially life-changing, or you'd have some different decisions to make. So hopefully that's helpful, that we can just show you that that is what is going on. The investments that we took back in 2022, what's important to mention about all of these profits are they are closed. It says here, closed positions. These are not, often you'll see people show you how much they're in profit, but it hasn't been closed out. So anything could happen. They could go negative. These are all closed, taken profits, banked, and put into the bank. So likewise, these returns here that you're seeing of investments that we made back in 2022 have been realized in 2023. As I said, we've been taking a lot of our investments out of the market due to the seasonality. So the DAX, 23%, NASDAQ 9%, S&P 10%, 23% on the Euro stocks, and investments that we've made in 2023 and realized this year. I mean, a huge move in the NASDAQ at 35%, and S&P 14%, and the FTSE 8%. We still have holdings in the market for stock markets, but a very small percentage, and we're holding other assets like Bitcoin as well. So I hope that you seeing the different phases of the market is interesting to you, and that you can see how that you can take advantage of these moves that happen. So I'd simply ask, if you're perhaps interested in learning more about how to take advantage of seasonality, how to align it with key investment trades and investments, if you could just type in, investment into the chat box, and we can follow you up with a little bit more in-depth information. If you are not already on our free Telegram channel, please join that, because we're always giving tips, education, also trades, also what we're seeing that's happening in the market. Mark's going to post that link in for you now, so do join if you haven't already joined that, and perhaps we can take some questions if you have any, and also if there's anything going on with the FTSE today, we can have a look. So John's just asking about how about longer term trades. Yeah, this is what you've basically seen. Some of those in what we like to term investment trades, because they really, when you look at like a trade like the DAX first of the month, it averages about 10% a year. That is a very good return by any standards if you were to compare that with the bank or bonds. At the moment, I think, you know, we're having very high interest rates, but you know, you'll get about 5%. So that particular trade is a shorter term trade, but we classify it as an investment trade because of the returns it gives. But we are holding those longer term investments. As you see, we've placed investments into the market in 2023. Some of those, 60 to 70% of those have been cashed out. And that's what we'll be looking for now, is that money to be reallocated in this period between the summer months, where maybe I just remind you that we will generally see, if we go back here to last year, from the summer months, that big decline. So we've already seen a 3% correction in the DAX. Will that go to 5%? Will it go to 10%? Again, we're just going to have to wait and see, but that will be our strategy moving forward through the next few months, and then looking to hold positions into next summer, and potentially add into those as well. So yeah, we are taking those longer term trades. So it's a really good question. Does it mean institutes move their money into other assets in the summer, like gold or energy? Potentially. Sorry, Mark's just whispering something to me. Let me just hear what he's saying. Okay, he's going to answer that for you.
Yeah. So welcome everyone. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Let me just answer that question. So at the moment, some institutions, yes, they'll be moving money into other asset classes, but at the moment, cash actually is quite attractive for these summer months. So myself and Cameron here at Magnetic Investments, we have gone into cash. We are taking advantage of the relatively high interest rates that we are getting on cash deposits at the moment, especially for the US dollar. So we will be in those cash deposits for the next 4 to 6 weeks, gaining some interest on that. And then we'll be looking for, cherry to get into the other asset classes and stock market once September is completed. And again, it could actually be in September that we start to invest, depending on the size. But no, we're not going into things like gold. Actually, we don't believe in gold. There are lots of reasons for that, but we will actually be doing a presentation on that in the coming weeks, so you can look out for that and why we don't touch gold. And likewise, energy. We've done energy like oil in the past, but we find it's a very manipulated market in terms of government and institutional manipulation. So again, we don't like going into too much energy asset classes either. So we do have our specialized areas that we're investing. Certainly we are taking advantage of Bitcoin at the moment. There is a number of reasons why we believe now is an optimal time to get into Bitcoin. We'll be doing a very special webinar, as I said, in the next couple of weeks. Look out for the invitation on that, and it will go over the reasons why Bitcoin is going to be a very attractive asset class over the coming 6 months. So you can look out for that one as well. No, we're not in uranium. No, not into that one. So for the investments, yeah, as I said, we're going into the main broad stock market using ETFs. So taking advantage of the best companies within different countries. We find that's the best way to invest. We like to be diversified. We're not great believers in individual stock buying. We would rather take advantage of buying the whole index. So we're instant diversification rather than just putting our money in one stock. We find that going into just one stock carries too much risk. There will, of course, be times where it makes sense to go into an individual stock. At the moment, actually, it's more on the Bitcoin side. But from the stock market point of view, it's very much ETFs, so exchange traded funds that we will invest in. So I did post the Telegram channel. I know most of you are in the free Telegram channel, but I did post the link in there. Do let me know if you can't do that one. No, we're not in ARK. No, we're in better asset classes for that one. And no, we're not great believers in the whole crypto space. It's only Bitcoin that we actually invest in. We don't do these other crypto coins that are out there. We're not believers in them, but certainly Bitcoin we are. But there are many reasons why we are focusing just on Bitcoin for the crypto space. So the presentation, as I said, which you can look out for the next couple of weeks, will be based on inflation and currency debasement. Inflation is something that everyone focuses on, but most people don't have a clue about currency debasement and how that is affecting their hard-earned money. So we'll be giving you some solutions how you can combat that big problem coming up. So as I said, you can join us for that one. Right. So in terms of trades that we actually may have an investment trade on the FTSE coming up today or tomorrow. Actually, the price action needs to do a little bit more at the moment, but there is, those of you who are on our programs like Blueprint, there's a 32-point dividend tomorrow on the FTSE. A 32-point dividend is huge for the FTSE 100. And it should attract buyers into the index. At the moment, the market actually opened substantially down, but we have seen a very big buying bar in the first 5 minutes. So that does show there is participation coming in for this big dividend tomorrow. So we will be looking for buyers on that one. I mean, personally, if I'm just looking at the range at the moment, I would be interested in buying a 50% pullback with a stop below today's lows after that nice buying bar today. So that's something I'll be looking at on the FTSE. But don't be surprised if we see a big rally coming in maybe towards the end of today, tomorrow, as investors come in and they want to get paid that big dividend on the FTSE 100. So as a matter of interest, how many people were already, did you know about seasonality and how effective it can be for investing? As I said, it's just one component that we look at for our investment strategies. We do look at other things, but was anyone already aware of seasonality, or have they used that for their investing? Most people just stick their money in a fund these days and they let the fund manager do it. But just be aware that most fund managers out there, they don't actually even beat the market, and they're taking crazy fees. So, they're taking 1 to 2% of what you invest in that fund, which is scandalous, really, because if you actually do the compound of that over 10, 20 years, it's a crazy amount of money that they'll take from putting you in these funds. So again, if you've got pension money, you do need to start looking into this, and you need to start looking into currency debasement and protecting your wealth on this one. It's something that most people are not aware of, but it is very, very important. Okay, some of you are aware of seasonality, but not deploying it at the moment. So as I said, if anyone's interested in investing, you can pop us. You can always pop me an email, mark@magnetictrading.com. We can have a chat about what we offer for that program. Anil was asking, where do we obtain dividend for the FTSE? Well, I have a link, but you can get it from the broker, Anil. But again, if you pop me an email, I can give you the link where it shows you the big dividend that is showing up for tomorrow on the FTSE. But so far at the moment, I do like the action on the FTSE. Real nice buy-in today. So I think, this could easily continue upwards today, especially while we stay below today's low down at 75.08. All right, has anyone got any questions, any further questions, or maybe I missed something? Any further questions, guys? We can take them now. I'll give you a few minutes just to put any final questions in before we close off the webinar. Sorry, guys, I had my my mute off. So what I was, I don't know where I got to, but what I was saying to John was, if you can't join the Telegram, make sure you've got Telegram installed on your phone. And then if you don't have an issue, if you still have an issue, just message @Cameron Malik and he'll add you personally to the free app. Yeah, you can install Telegram on your computer as well. Yeah, as an app. Yeah. But yes, you must install it first, otherwise you can't add us. I don't know if Anil, did you hear me about seasonality on September? Just let me know if my mic was on or off at that point. I don't know if I answered that for you or not, but let me know. Did I answer your question on September? Okay, so okay, I didn't. So all right, what I was saying is, yes, historically September, as per the presentation that Cameron just did, we will send a recording out, but historically over the last 50 years, it's a negative month across all global markets. So it's really during that time we'll be looking for reasons to take advantage of the sell-off and be looking to buy for those last quarter months. But we'll be looking at key levels, we'll be looking at volume, and we'll be getting our clients in on the optimal day that we see to invest. Okay, guys, I think we'll wrap it up there. It's been a pleasure talking to you. Again, apologies for the late start today, but hopefully you guys enjoyed it and it was worthwhile. We'll catch you in a couple of weeks for another free training event. We hope you have a great day. Those of you on Blueprint, keep an eye out for the big FTSE dividend trade that I'll be issuing over the next 24 hours. I'm eyeing things up. You'll notice the 5-minute bar has broken up on big volume this morning. So at the moment, that's looking pretty good as well. So yeah, I'll keep you updated. For the rest of you, have a great day and we'll catch you soon.